What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Monday, May 5th. Now in today's video, specifically I want to talk about the psychology of market cycles with dog Bitcoin. Now what is that all about? Well, in market cycles, there are many different emotional elements such as depression, capitulation, FOMO, euphoria that we tend to meet within the price of any cryptocurrency. But more specifically, we're going to be talking about dog Bitcoin in terms of the emotional aspect. Where are we at currently right now? And how does that play out with the price point of what we could see dog Bitcoin's price in the short to medium term? And are we experiencing a catalyst event anytime soon? Is it based on tier 1 spot listings? Is it based on a listing on Slingshot? Or is it just based on community aspect? Let's go into that, and also let's look into the altcoin cycle that we could be experiencing, which is the beginning of the altcoin season. So let's go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. Guys and girls, let's get right into it. Right now, dog Bitcoin is hovering around a 270 million market cap. Now, over the past 7 days, it's been staying within that range. So 270 is actually the new support level for dog Bitcoin. As you can see, it's hit it multiple times, and it's just trying to figure its place out right now. Now, when we compare it to Bitcoin's price, it seems to be kind of trading sideways alongside the correlation of Bitcoin. Now, over the past month, you can see that obviously dog Bitcoin is performing 102% compared to Bitcoin's price. We put our Satoshis to work. Over the past year, it's now that dog is up 3%, which is a lot different from just a week ago where it was down 13%. Overall, we're still down negative 39%, while Bitcoin is actually up 50%. Now, again, I have always mentioned this over and over. Eventually, you're going to see dog Bitcoin flip Bitcoin's price in terms of Satoshis, which is something that we want to see. Bitcoin's price still is hovering around $94,000, and we're going to see how Bitcoin may top off at a certain point because altcoin season seems to be lingering just around the corner. Now, Bitcoin's price is paying attention to one thing, which is going to happen this Wednesday. The FOMC meeting that's going to happen, that's going to introduce if Feds or the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates, hike them up, or just keep the rates unchanged. So right now, if I haven't seen Bitcoin's price change due to this, like 2 days prior, I don't know if Bitcoin's price is going to change at all, but it may change on the day of Wednesday. Now, if they cut interest rates, then you're most likely going to see the price of Bitcoin go up. But if nothing's going to change, or if they're going to hike up interest rates, I don't know if anything's going to happen with Bitcoin's price. I think right now it's been priced in. I want to look at dog Bitcoin in terms of ranking. It's still hovering around 155. It went up to around 153, as low as around 158, but now it's still hovering around 155. It's still there. The price point and also the community is stronger than ever. Meme coins overall, in terms of their market cap, it used to be at around $60 billion last Friday. It's actually dropped $4 billion, now at around $56 billion. So there is some retracement and pullback within the meme coin market sector. But when we look at altcoin season, check this out. Now, if we look at where we are right now, it seems like we're not in altcoin season, but we used to be at a range around 16. Now we're at number 27. Now, the reason that's important is because it looks like it's kind of leaning towards altcoin season could begin at any moment in time. Look at this major pump right here. That means that we're seeing more altcoins take dominance over Bitcoin's dominance. Now, Bitcoin's dominance is hopefully going to reach around 66%, but that's where I think it's going to top. Most people think it may reach up as high as around 70 to 73%, but I don't know if it's going to reach at that point. Who knows? But right now, we'll see how that works. In terms of social media mentions over the past 7 days, based on what Keyway has reported on X's radar tool, Dog still dominates in terms of social mentions on X. Look at Dog, 161,000 mentions on X compared to Dogecoin, which only has 111,000 mentions. Trump, 105,000 mentions. Pepe, 101 mentions. And Farcoin, which people tend to be talking about a lot, only 97,000 mentions. Think about that. There are more mentions about Dog Bitcoin than any other meme coin out there. Isn't that crazy? In other news, you know that Dog Bitcoin has a buy button now over on Cardano, and now people are buying Dog on, say for instance, Miniswap DEX, which is a decentralized wallet, where you can buy Dog without having to pay large fees. Now here's a whale wallet alert. Now 2 days ago, I saw this diamond hand whale, who by the way, has not sold or transferred any of his Dog, recently accumulate 2.4 million worth of Dog. They now have a total of 102 million Dog tokens. That's 285,000 US dollars. Now you must be wondering, how many different dog tokens do you need to have in order to become a millionaire? So I've shared with you this specific chart. So what does this all mean? So these right here are the market caps, these big orange circles. This is a $10 billion market cap, $5 billion market cap, $3 billion, and $1 billion market cap. So say for instance, in order to make $1 million, you need roughly around 100 million dog tokens when the dog market cap reaches $1 billion. If you want to reach $1 million when it reaches a $3 billion market cap, well, you need roughly around 33 million dog tokens, and so forth, so on. So if you want to pause this video, feel free to look at this specific diagram, allow you to understand how many dog tokens you need at a specific market cap to reach $1 million. Now here is the market psychology of market cycles. Okay, so right now we are in the disbelief cycle. Now why am I creating that specific emotional element? So as you can see here, every time we see a capitulation, there's a depression. Then we see a massive rally, which is followed by disbelief because nobody believes we're going to go to the upside, followed by optimism, like, yeah, we're most likely going to get there, and then belief, like, we are going to head to the moon. Then there's this euphoric thrill phase, followed by euphoria. And then once there's this capitulation phase, it's preceded by complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, and it happens over and over. Every single time when we hit a 970 million market cap to a 999 million market cap. And right now we met a bottom at the depression, as you've seen back over here and back over here in the previous two cycles. You're exactly in the disbelief section, which you don't believe that this could possibly go up any further. That right now this pump that we just experienced is short-lived. And then eventually we may see a retracement and then a pump right back up, which leads to optimism, then to belief, then to thrill, then to euphoria. And something that I want to mention to everybody that just was breaking news as of yesterday, we just saw on the weekly time frame our first blue histogram bar after 16 weeks of negativity of red sellers market. Think about that. So you're seeing the very first blue histogram bar, which is showing you, remember, this is on the weekly time frame. So every week you may see more and more blue candlesticks. It's a very dark blue. Now, when it's very dark blue, that means you're going to see the very beginning of the next bull run for dog Bitcoin. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin's price, because again, if Bitcoin goes down in price from 94 to say $80,000, then this will not even matter. These blue histogram bars will be short-lived and then we'll be back in the red. But if Bitcoin continues to go in its uptrend, to say follow the global empty money supply, which hopefully will hit between $100,000 to $130,000 per Bitcoin, then that means by the end of July, you could see dog Bitcoin's price surpass 500 million up to $1 billion by that time frame. So with this blue histogram bar, the bulls are back in dominance. And so right now you're seeing the very early stages. Even though on a day-to-day basis, you may see that the price go up and down, all it takes is one catalyst event for that price to go up. And this is why we focus on charting analysis. So right now, this is on the daily time frame. Right now, 270 million is the support level, and it could dip below that moment at any time as a fake out. Remember, there are many bots, especially on gate.io, that are manipulating the price to keep it low, making you thinking that we're never going up. And most of you have mentioned, Vincent, can you check out the RSI? Well, I brought up the RSI right here because it was a top right around here. And we could expect weakening buying pressure, which would lead into selling pressure. But you see this red line right here? This is the main support level that I've seen whenever we do return back to the upside. So let's use this as example. So we did take a massive pump from roughly around 190 million market cap as high as around 590 million market cap, drop back down to roughly around 340 million market cap. So when we saw that, we saw a big pump, and now we saw a big dump, and that was the support level. And then it even got even weaker. That only brought us down to around 300 million market cap, but eventually came back up again, and that's why we reached a new level of around 999 million market cap. So if you pay attention to these orange squares, which I've kind of drawn here and here, the reason I drew it over here is because with these similarities, you can see that this is pretty much a boring stage, a boring gap. There's nothing going on with the price, and the price actually retraces. So with the same thing that could happen here, we could see the price retrace back down, and we could see renewed interest for another rally up. That would send us back over 500 million market cap. But regardless, within this orange zone, this is the buy zone. Right now, in terms of us being in the buyer's market, you're seeing that right now we're kind of reversing back down with this blue and orange line. As we saw kind of back here, we saw us pump, we saw us retrace, and then got a little bit tight right here, and then we pumped again. We could see the exact same thing happening here, where the buying pressure is weakening because we had so much buying pressure, so we need to sell a little bit before we see the next rally up. But I just want to remind everybody, we saw a 970 million market cap, 999 million market cap in those two previous bull runs. And we did not have any tier 1 centralized exchange listing announcement, and we also were not listed on any mobile apps. This was all done just based on this specific diagram. Now, why am I bringing this up? Now, in meme coin land, momentum is greater than fundamentals. Dog does not wait for permission, it just goes. So why do I bring this up? So usually we see in the very beginning, not much liquidity flowing into Dog. There are very few sellers within thin books. And the reason we focus on this price is because usually when we see big prices and pumps within Dog Bitcoin out of nowhere, like we saw in the two previous bull cycles, usually it's either whales or massive buy bots. So bots that basically buy large orders that slam the market, that hit the price, and the price ends up becoming the catalyst. So when people see the price pump, it's just the price that sends people into this catalyst event that sends retail piling in while the price is pumping, and the narrative starts igniting, saying that now we're going to the moon. And then FOMO kicks in, which sends the price of Dog Bitcoin past $1 billion. But of course, a tier 1 centralized exchange listing would be very nice, and it's going to happen. And it being listed on Slingshot is going to happen. All of you must be wondering, when is that going to happen? I cannot tell you that. But instead of being non-proactive and saying when this, when that, what are you doing? Because there are so many people out there saying, hey, listen, I want you to do the work for me rather than me doing the work. So I'm going to say online, when this, when that. These people with very small accounts do nothing but try to get rich quick, and they aren't part of the Dog narrative. So whenever you see people say when this, when that, these people only care about sending their price to the moon. So I'm telling you right now, if you want to be proactive, tag your favorite centralized exchanges. Let them know when to list Dog. Don't just ask the content creators, hey, when is it going to happen? We're not going to do the work for you. You need to do the work for yourself to ask for these things to happen. In the end, Dog's price is going to pump regardless of a tier 1 or mobile app listing. Dog's price has been pumped to 970, 999 million market cap without any of these things. It just does it by itself. The question is, are you going to be ready when it happens again? So when I'm looking at Dog's price right now, I know it's going to go to $1 billion regardless. So that's why I continue to dollar cost average. So really, what are you going to actually do? What are you doing to be proactive to getting Dog on a tier 1 spot listing? And also share with me your predictions on the market psychology of Dog Bitcoin. Where do you stand in terms of Dog Bitcoin emotionally? Then you saw into the charting analysis where 270 million is the support level for Dog Bitcoin. Do you expect a retracement back to around 260? Or do you expect that right now, this is the buy zone opportunity where whales are going to potentially push the price up and just kind of trick people into selling while they start accumulating? Well, I want to hear your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. So as always, by supporting this channel, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join us on X to receive all of our alpha calls and updates regarding Dog and Moon. Till then, see you guys girls next time.